So you don't know this, but I'm gonna do a little spoiler alert. Everything that you're going through right now, all the life lessons that you're going through right now, the journey of, say, sin, the journey of wanting to get out of sin but being in the back and forth, the whole thing is a setup. You don't know this, but you're actually right now downloading a lot of information that's going to prepare you for the future. So it's almost like making a mistake and then reflecting on the mistake and learning from the mistake, and then that mistake plays a role in your future to keep you out of trouble, to keep you on the straight narrow road, so to speak. You know what I found that God did with my life is that all that sorrow, all that pain, all that suffering, all those tears that I shed, growing up in different circumstances with different, God turned it all around as I got older. And each and every one of those life lessons, okay, it doesn't matter if it was rejection or abandonment or broken heart or my drug addiction, whatever it does, whatever it was, right? All of it, God used it as material to build me up, uh, very wise, smart, and then also, those things act like a guardrail today in my life to navigate through life, understanding that, just as, like, for example, like con men. You know, when I was a teenager, I mentioned in another video that a guy took my Cuban link gold chain. It was pretty thick, and it wasn't that thick. Showed that, but it was a very expensive, nice gold chain that I was in love with because it was very sacrificial. My mom didn't have the money for it. We put it on layaway for a long time, and we eventually got it out. I was a teenager, and I had it for about 5 years or something like that, and I made a very big regretful decision, which was to put my chain on the line in order to win a stash of cash this thick, um, in a 3 card Monty card game. I had never been hustled before. Prior to that, I had never been conned. Prior to that, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, right? But that day, I acted like a marker, right? Where I could always reflect back and remember something like that. To where now, as a grown man, I'm going about life, but that's a marker in my life that I will never forget. So now, say I'm approached by somebody that says, "Hey, we have a great investment opportunity here, and this and that." You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about, I'll listen, but with discernment, with the type of ear that says, "Okay, these types of people exist out here, and that's not gonna happen to me again." Right? I'm gonna be wise. I'm gonna be cautious. I'm gonna move slow. I'm not gonna jump into anything, right? But what am I saying is that all my biggest errors in life, that was one of them that it really hurt me. Um, it now acts like a marker, a divider from okay, don't go that direction, right? So in other words, God took that and now is using it for the good. Now that he's also using every experience that I've ever had with every other thing, right? Shallow and big. Like, for example, my best friends growing up, they taught me a valuable lesson, and the lesson that they taught me was, how you can be so close to somebody and like really confide in them and trust in them and give them your whole heart, kind of thing, best friends kind of stuff. And then how a person can be, from one moment to another, just like find new friends and just completely forget that we had invested 15 years of growing up together and doing everything together, and then all of a sudden it's like there was no, like, formal goodbye or nothing. It was just like found new friends and stop hanging around with me. That was, for me, it. it still acts like a head scratcher. Like I was just like, what happened, dude? Uh, we grew up together. We're so close. We called each other cousins. We were best friends, but we're like, yeah, man, we're cousins, man. We're family. But now that acts into my life as an understanding that it's like, listen, when you have a friend in the future, like, now I have a lot of acquaintances and all that, but now you can understand how I can view, um, like my platform and my foundation is that I don't freely give away my heart to anybody and stuff like that. Like my heart is precious because the Bible talks about guarding your heart. But I've gone through the lessons of life that have brought that to a place of understanding for me. I'm like, oh, that's why it says guard your heart. It's because that's where it becomes fun when the scriptures become life to you because of your experiences and how it matches up to the scriptures. And it's like, oh, I understand what you're trying to warn me about now. You're trying to help me not go through all this pain and sorrow, and as a result, you're trying to give me wisdom, right? Guard your heart, yeah? And so guard your ways, guard your mind, guard your eyes, like understand that all of this matters in the end of the day, because then you can allow enemies into your life without even knowing. If you're just an open city without walls, if you don't have no boundaries, if you have no structure to like defend yourself, from enemies or this or that, if you're just an open city, anybody can come in and out as they please, then obviously your territory is going to be in rubble. Nobody's going to treat you the way you should be treated, with value and whatnot, because you have to put a demand on that. And the way you put a demand on that is by putting boundaries, is by allowing people to see your quality, but your quality is not for sale. You understand? That's your quality, right? And so don't hang around with people that want to diminish your quality. Don't hang around with people that want to taint you. Smear mud on your face, so to speak, with their words and their actions towards you. And don't what the devil does is that he tries to put a spin of fun on it, like laughter, right? Like, oh, it's just a joke, you know. Um, the actions, there's nothing joking about it, and the words, it. You know when something's a joke, and you know when stuff is real, disguised as a joke. So anyways, long story short, man, it's all contaminated, it's all perverted, and it's demonic. And if you want to fly high, you can't hang around with the crows, man. You gotta fly with the eagles. And so, who you're chilling with would decipher how high you go and who you become, because they'll hold you back. As soon as you try to branch out and become something bigger and better, they'll try to hold your ankle and say, no, we're not flying that high. You can't fly that high either. They'll make fun of your dreams. They'll push them down. They'll shoot them down. Your ideas. They'll mock you and stuff like that, because they don't understand that they don't understand that altitude. And so they can't fly that high, so they don't want you to. So the only way to go past all that is straight up, man. You just gotta, like, yeah, of course you wanna respect, but you don't have to allow people to put an anchor around your ankle and keep you down, man. I see it every day. So for me, as an example, um, excuse me, sorry about that. So for me, as an example, I lost my train of thought. I don't have a big. I have a lot of acquaintances, But man, I kid you not. I don't even think I have one friend. That sounds pretty pathetic, doesn't it? It sounds pathetic and pitiful. But you know what? I'm so happy because I understand. I really do understand, and I understand how this message could come across to a lot of people, and how they could like not understand and just judge what I'm saying from a place of not understanding. But anybody that's been and I've seen some stuff, man. I've seen, you know, marriages break up from 20 years in ways that you never thought that they would. And these people have given each other their hearts and stuff like that. I've seen best friends do stuff. I've seen family members do stuff. And so I'm coming from a place of acknowledging all of this, looking at it, diagnosing it, dissecting it, learning from it, and saying, you know what, you gotta guard your heart. That's a good. That's a good. Now you wanna be nice, kind, generous, loving, caring for people. You wanna share, be charitable, empathetic, sympathetic, all that stuff. You wanna be helpful and useful. But you can do all that with you know with boundaries and limitations, without allowing somebody to come in a place where it's sacred, and then just if they don't have the value system that you have, they can desecrate everything and then leave you in shambles, all because they shouldn't have had the keys in the first place to that. So some people, you know, you got to run them through tests. God runs us through tests to see how much He can trust us. So you can't just give anybody, the keys to your house, the keys to your heart, the keys to, you gotta know, man. So my mom had given the keys to my stepdad, which was a coke dealer, and look how much damage he did all of us. And she had met the guy. She was lonely. She was what's it called? Lonely, and she wanted affection. And so right away, without even thinking about it, this guy had access to her house and her children, and he desecrated everything. He didn't have value and care for any of it, right? So then she got what she gave up like the things that really mattered. She worked for her whole life, and even her own blood, her family. She didn't think that these things were gonna happen when she did it, but when she gave up those keys, she should have known that along with giving up these keys come blessings or curses, like depending on who it is, right? And they gotta measure up to the value system that you bring to the table. All right, God bless you guys.